Hi guys, you are welcome to my channel. Today we want to write a Python function that finds the largest number in a list. Remember in our last tutorial we wrote a Python function that finds the sum of number in a list with just 2 lines of code. You can also use just 2 lines of code to find the largest number in a list with the help of maximum, which is the inbuilt function. From the first line of code we start with function definition keyword, which is def, and we give our function a suitable name, which is find largest number. We supply with my list, which is arguments in this case. Then we end it with colon. We now use return statement to return the maximum of that list, and it's as simple as that. But I don't want to follow this route. Though we have many inbuilt function in Python, we have many of them, especially those that are related with mathematics and numbers. We have some, we have minimum, we have maximum, we have power, we have absolute function, we have round function. If you want me to demonstrate how to use any of these inbuilt function, you can indicate that in the comment section. But then we have already used some in our last tutorial, and we are using maximum again now. So you can try using minimum to find the minimum number. You can round any number up. You can find absolute number. So it depends on what you want to do. But then I don't want to use any inbuilt function in my code. I want to start my code from the scratch. But before I dive deep into the code itself, I want to explain how to handle a list. Alright, from this line, my list equals to 24 to 60, 80, all enclosed in square brackets. Right, this is a typical example of a list, right? And every member of a list has their own position, which we call index. So 20 is at index 0, 4 is at index 1, 2 is coincidentally at index 2, and 60 is at index 3, 80 is at index 4. I can manipulate this list. I can retrieve any member of the list if I want. I can change any number. For example, if I want to retrieve the element at index 0, that is the number at index 0, I can just save that in first number variable. I can say first number equals to my list, then I supply the index, which is index 0. This assign 20 to first number, right? I can also say y equals to my list square brackets index 1. This also assign 4 to y. I can still say last number equals to my list at index 4, which we already know that 80 is the largest number, but then that is not the intention. That is not what we want to do. We just assign 80 to last number variable. Okay, so now we can now go to the code proper. We start by using def keyword, which is function definition, and we give our function a name, which is find largest number. This is a suitable name for this purpose. I will use my list as argument. We end it with a column, and now once we press enter, you are now inside the function itself. Anything you type inside the function will be executed. So I started by saying largest number equals my list as index 0. So the logic is, once you are provided a list and you want to find the largest, right? So you first of all assume that the largest number of that list is the first element, that is first number. And that is what this code, the second line of this code, is trying to say. Largest number is equals to my list at index 0. Right? So after that, you now look through the rest of the number in the list. You look through the list to see if there is any other number that is greater than or that is higher than the largest number that you first assigned, which is the first element. So that is why we now use for number in my list. This is a loop statement. I'm talking about code, line code 3, right? So I say for number in my list, this is a loop statement that loop through other member of the list, right? And now say if number, if I come across any number that is greater than largest number, then largest number become that number, or that number become the largest number. Then I now return the largest number. So let me take this again. We started with def function, def keyword, and we type the name of our function. Here we say find largest number is the name of this particular function that I want to write. and we supply in the my list as arguments, and we ended it with a colon. Now we now assume that the first number in that list is the largest number. That's why I say largest number equals to my list in square bracket 0, which means the largest number is assumed, or the first number is assumed to be the largest number at the start. So for number in my list, this statement look through the list to see if there is any other number that is greater than the first number. Okay, so if number is now greater than largest number, that is, if we now come across any number that is greater than largest number, then that number becomes the largest number. It's just as simple as that. So we now return the largest number. So if we write this code very well, minding the indentation and all that, we should be able to get a desired result. So let's go into the live coding. So here we are going to explain every line of code. Here is Jupyter Notebook, and this is our code environment. I first of all change the name of the folder to largest number. You can change the name to anything you feel like. It's not part of the code. Okay, then I repeated the question here. Write a Python function that finds the largest number in the list. Okay, so let's assume that this is our list. Even without writing a function, you can just say largest number is equals to, we make use of the max function, which is the inbuilt function, is equals to my list. If we run this code and we now print largest number, so if you run it, we are going to, okay, I think we've the spelling wrongly. So 100 becomes the largest number. 100 is the largest number. All right, this is not a function. Now, if we now want to write function, we start by saying def, then we can call it largest number. You can call your function any name. Largest number we supply with my list or anything. You can even use x. Now, so we are in the function now. You can now write return what? Return max, then x. If you run this code and we now say largest number, and we supply with x. We supply with x or we supply with my list. It depends, anything. So we are going to get 100 as the largest. Okay, this is the first approach. Second approach is writing the code from the scratch. Let me call that example 2. So we are writing the code from the scratch. We say def, you can call it largest number. Then we supply it with my list, which is the list that I want to write the function for, and press enter. So first thing foremost, we say largest number equals to the first element in my list. And I press enter. So I now say for number in my list, for every number in my list, if we find any other number to be greater than the largest number that we first assume, then that number becomes the largest number. It's equals to largest number. Then what else? We now return that largest number. that largest number. Let me correct this. So if we run this code, our code is now fine. We can now try the function to see whether it will work. We call the function, and we supply with my list. Then you should get your maximum number. If we now decided to, we have any list at all, let's say we have any list at all, we have any list at all, we have any list at all. So if this is a new list and we now call our function, so my list, we are still going to get 80 as the largest. Okay, so that brings the end of today's tutorial. If you want me to, if there is any particular code that you want me to, a function that you want me to write, you can comment that in the comment section. If you need explanation on any of the tutorial that we've done so far, you can please feel free to make comment in the comment section, and please don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you and have a nice day.